All right, here we go. Welcome back to the Blacklight Podcast. DonLexy here with another live reaction. Let me make sure that we have the input incorrectly because every now and again it jacks up. Hold on one second. Got to make sure everything is straight. You have to excuse me. Coming straight out of a boxing workout. Here to do the show. Let's go ahead and get into it. Everything. There we go. Okay. How we doing? We're already at 100% in likes. Oh man, we're at 100% in likes. Let's go ahead and get into it. Much love to the BLP family out there. How you guys doing today? Let's get into it. Where we at? I want to make sure that my functions are correct. Okay. Sounds good. Sounds like I can hear myself pretty well. Okay. One hell of a show planned for you guys today. On top of the fact that we have one hell of a feature presentation. There's of course some things we have to address. The channel's been under attack, along with a lot of other content creators, basically men who react to channels. She didn't want to be specific because she probably didn't want to bring positive traffic in the direction of content creators that she doesn't like. We find ourselves here again. Believe it or not, this isn't our first time having a run-in with Kendra G. The first time we had a run-in with Kendra G, she attacked the platform, and it went a little bit like this. And we're going to just play a little bit of that clip, and then we're going to come right back.
They all have, and that's why.
Whoa, whoa, whoa. I can't hear anything. Why is there no audio?
Because they have big penises. They, you know, the one.
Okay. Am I frozen? How in the world am I frozen? They're playing games. Okay, let's take that off. Go back that way. Plug that back in. I have no idea what's going on. There we go. All right. You guys can hear it? You guys can hear the audio? I want to make sure you guys can hear the playback. You guys can actually hear the playback of the file because I can't hear anything. You guys can hear Kendra G talking right now? What in the fucking... There. Okay. Now I can hear. For some reason I can't hear an import 1, but I can hear an import 2. Okay. All right. All right. It sounds like it's good now. But now that I can hear, I'm going to play it again.
Me to make comments on, they all have small penises, and that's why. Because they have big penises, they be out with their woman. Jesus. But instead, they got to keep their ass in the house to watch what I'm doing on my show because they was born with a small penis and they can't get no vagina. So just know, anytime y'all see somebody taking my content, that's what they are. That's what it is.
Okay. Now, phew, looking at the past. Again, that was our first time having our run-in with Kendra G. She claimed that every man who reacted to her content had a small penis or whatever the case may be, and she went on and on and on and on about the men who reacted to her content. We're gonna get into the most recent statement that she had to say about the content, and then I'm gonna give my monologue. Let's go ahead and get into the next portion. This was when she actually attacked. No, actually, before I play the Kevin Samuels portion, I want to play the new recent rant that she just went on. It's interesting.
Abby, then I'm gonna get Kyra. Okay. All right. All right. Okay. Now the link to join is on the Facebook. Okay. So the link to join as a guest is in the Facebook comment section and the YouTube comment section. New York, we're here. Shout out to New York. All right. If you want to be a guest, push the request. You want to be a guest, push the request. Before I start the show, I want to say something directly to all the bitch-ass men podcasters that can't create original content because no woman would ever call your show. So what you do is you stalk my page all day and you say you do reaction videos. But the truth of the matter is you're bitch-ass men. You know, we have all this conversation about women being so masculine. This, ladies and gentlemen, is a bitch-ass man trait. A bitch-ass man can't build his own page. You know, he can't do it on his own. So we got to find a woman to eat up off of. Because they're not doing it because they really want to give information. No, these are small penis nobodies. Could never get attention, can't do it on their own, so they gotta come to my page. One thing I would say about Kevin Samuels, he was original with his content because even though he said things harsh at times to women still called his show. I have to give it to him because I would be surprised that women will call him up just for him to read them for filth. But guess what? He had enough swag to get women to call him directly. Oh, you bitch ass man, y'all a different breed. Goofies. And some of y'all got wives. That means they on.
Wait a second. Now all of a sudden we're on Kevin Samuels' side.
Oh, ain't nobody shade.
Now all of a sudden you're on Kevin Samuels' side. Now all of a sudden it's okay to be behind Kevin Samuels. Why, Kendra G? It's because he's been passed away long enough. But when it wasn't cool to be on his side, you tried to act like you didn't know who he was. It's funny, your sentiments have changed about Kevin Samuels. Remember this?
One thing I forgot to ask you when I was on your platform, Kevin Samuels, you know, the one thing I forgot to ask you when I was on your platform is where's your wife? Where is the woman that you are married to that can prove your thought process on what it takes to have a successful Black family actually works because you have one yourself? But then I realized you're not even married. Not only are you not married, you have been married twice, divorced twice. So therefore, you mean to tell me you know all that it takes to have a successful marriage, but it didn't even work in your own life? Interesting. Another question I failed to ask is, where are your children? Are you a father? Now, I still don't know the answer to this question. So there's two possibilities. A, you could not be a father. And then I would be like, okay, married twice, no kids. That seems odd. Do you suffer from erectile dysfunction? But I don't know, because then again, you could be a father. And then I would say you left the Black family unit in order to pursue a YouTube career. It was more important for you to have a platform tearing down Black women instead of...
And now she has a platform on YouTube where she exploits Black women. Yeah. Yeah, you have a platform where you now exploit Black women. And you have a YouTube platform. Your YouTube platform is probably your most successful platform now. And it's funny how all the tables have turned. You could shame Mr. Samuels for being a YouTuber, and you didn't know that that's where your career would actually move to. It's funny. That's why you shouldn't speak so quick. Let's read some supers really quick. Donnie says, let's start the week. Intellect says, and so it begins. Intellect says, she's talking to you. You know, they don't like when you call yourself out, so I'll let the people put it together. Demeter Joe says, expose her, Thon. Here for it. Yeah, we're going to break it down. We're going to slow cook her. Let's continue.
Of being married to the woman who gave birth to your child. But I don't know if you're a father or not. But either way, both of those options seem a little fishy to me. And speaking of which, you actually owe every single black woman a thank you card because you're nothing without us. Let me say that clearly. Kevin Samuels, you are nothing without the black woman.
Stop. Exactly. And there we go. Again, do you guys see the pattern? When Kendra is in a altercation with a black man, first it's senseless and juvenile ad hominems and petty attacks. Then the next thing she does is either try to take the credit for the person's success. Now, if she could do that for someone like Kevin Samuels, who certainly was self-made, who am I? So again, I don't find myself here shocked that Kendra believes that her platform is the reason that I've gotten here, even though thousands of YouTubers react to her content. But there's one reason why she's mad at me. It's because nobody is reacting to it on the level that we're reacting to the content. And also because we have so many black women focused on our platform and coming over here, and she sees people in her comment section coming to my comment section. She's seeing women who have been on her show end up coming over to my show to get the real game. I can see how that could be frustrating. I can see that. But again, I want you guys to notice the pattern of her attacking a content creator. It's just the same thing. It's proof that these women are literally just moving on a loop. You attack the content creator, you attack his sexuality, you bring his manhood into question. And then the next step is you take credit for everything that he does. So now that because black women came on to Mr. Samuels' show and chose to make an ass of themselves, and that's what blew the show up. They're responsible for his success. Nothing could be further from the truth. You so happen to have a calling show where black women come onto your show. It is their delusion and the absurd things that they say that keeps the show relevant and popular. Kendra G, nobody cares about you.
Shaming yourself. Ain't nobody shame.
Nobody cares. Nobody really cares about you. That's the truth. And the show is significant without you. Proof alone. Anytime they allow Zach Boogie to be a part of the show and they allow Zach Boogie to host or they allow Jess Niece, the show goes up to another level. And not just that, they bring new features and characteristics to the show that you weren't wise enough to think of yourself. Right? The truth is the majority of your audience can't stand you because they understand one simple fact. You think that you're better than they are. You think that you're better than they are. You think that they're beneath you and they notice. And sometimes they let you have it. Just like that crackhead did that time. And you weren't ready. You weren't ready for it, Kendra. All you could do was laugh, and you knew that you deserved the reading because, hell, he didn't even do anything. You tried to humiliate someone who you thought you could humiliate, but you had the wrong nigga. Right? I want to continue the rant because there's some interesting things that happen at the end that's actually going to bring Kendra's brand into question. And I want all of the people from the LGBTQ plus community to lean in closely during this portion of Kendra G's lashing. This is where she's going to prove that she is not in support of the LGBTQ plus community, no matter what she says. All the brands who work with her, who might be in support of the LGBTQ plus community, I wonder if you knew that Kendra G had these sort of belief systems about the LGBTQ plus community. Let's spin a clip.
Give birth to bitch ass babies. Bitch ass men make bitch ass babies.
Okay, now, bringing kids into it, Kendra, very low. You're not talking about any specific person, but again, show some class.
Oh, I'm gonna let it know what it is. It's actually really sad. It's actually really sad that y'all follow these bitch ass men who ain't never did nothing in life. They can't build the original content. If I died tomorrow, they would get evicted. If I went to go see Jesus tomorrow, they would be evicted because they would have no content to pay their rent. That's how important I am to these bitch ass podcasters.
We've been popular for about 5 years. We've only been reacting to Kendra G for about 2. They tried to do the same thing with Kevin Samuels. They were like, you're using Kevin Samuels to build your name up. Even though everybody else was reacting to Kevin Samuels, but they were coming to my fucking channel. That's the difference. See, that's the difference. To all you haters out there who are like, you're using other people's content, blah, 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 blah. See, so is everyone else. But why the fuck are you at my channel? What am I doing that's so different? Technically, I am saying the same thing as MTR and all these other guys, Saint and whatever. It technically is all the same information. Maybe it's because I spent 4 or 5 years working at public speaking in a way nobody else would. Maybe I've worked at being funny my entire life. Maybe it's because I know how to speak well. Maybe it's because I'm articulate and because I'm charismatic and because I bring something interesting to the conversation. You see, by YouTube's policy standards, I make the content original the moment I say one word, play one song, pause it, and add commentary that was not originally there. See, that is why you can do a reaction. You can post a clip of a specific call, go up, and I can do a reaction to that video and do better numbers. Hence why you're upset in the first place. I get it. You post a clip, I do a reaction to it, do better numbers. That might be upsetting. That might be upsetting. But what I am not doing is breaking YouTube's guidelines. That is what I'm not doing. That's what I'm not doing. I'm not breaking YouTube's guidelines. So again, until YouTube has a problem with how I'm pushing this content out, I don't think there's anything you can do about it. I don't think there's anything you can do about it, Kendra G, unfortunately. And if you got some guy who thinks he's tough, we're going to be up at the boxing gym. I'm going to be handing ass whoopings out. They can come up there. I don't fight in the street. I'm too civilized. I'm not going to taint my image or my clean record for some ashy nigga, you know. But what I will do is I'll meet your best guy up at any boxing gym in Michigan. That's what I will do. Because I don't argue with women. But you don't got a nigga you can call, do you, Kendra?
My dog die alone.
You don't. You got a little career, a bullshit house in the Beverly Hills, and some frozen pterodactyl eggs that no nigga's gonna want to take care of. Good luck. Now, let's get back to the show. Back to the LGBT community canceling you possibly, because I think that they should after this statement coming forward. You mess with the wrong guy.
No original content, Negroes. And women that date bitch asses have bitch ass kids. And that's why we got bitch ass kids walking the earth because of the bitch ass men. So, hello. I know you're here. You were probably here first. You were probably here first because what else are you going to do with your time? What else are you going to do? Nobody would know you at all. So there you have it. Now let's do our show. Goofies. And it's crazy. Let me tell you something. In all honesty, I don't really know a lot. I don't watch videos, but people send me stuff. And it just is remarkable because I don't know men like this in my real life. Like, the men in my real life, they blaze their own trail. They would never be comfortable knowing that they have to live off of another woman's brand. Like that wouldn't fit well with the men in my real world. What? That's not a man? Let me tell you something. I know gay men.
Kendra, nobody cares about those men in your world if they aren't your husband, okay? Like, you're always talking about the 6-figure men in my world. Kendra, those are 6-figure men in other men's worlds. Those men belong to other women. Or like, if they're not on one knee you try to stand close to these 6-figure men you work with, so that you try to inflate the idea of that you're a 6-figure woman also. You're not. That's the truth. You just make 6 figures. That doesn't make you a 6-figure woman. That's the truth. Now, here's where she's going to mess up. This is where eventually the LGBTQ plus community, when some big executive is ready to be done with her, they'll come find clips like this to go ahead and get rid of Kendra G. Because Kendra, in about 10 years, they're not going to let people talk this loosely about gay people.
Men that are more masculine than you bitch ass men. Men who take it in the ass is more masculine than you bitch ass men.
Now, to all of the people in the LGBTQ plus community, you should take this very personal. And let me tell you why. Let me tell you why you must take this very personal. Because when women pull you guys into their altercations shamelessly like this, what they do is they're making you the symbol of weakness in these moments. They're saying that even somebody who is lacking in masculinity would be stronger than you. That's what they're saying when they make a statement like that. This is proof that Kendra G has underlining disdain for the LGBTQ plus community, and she associates weakness with people who are a part of the LGBTQ plus community. I don't think we should have people like this leading in communities at all. I don't think we need people leading communities who think like this, because there are plenty gay children and transgender children and so on and so forth who aren't safe around people who spew this kind of rhetoric. Pretty soon, they'll find stuff like this. A lot of you guys are going to be on the wrong side of history because you just had to get certain things off about gay people. Cool, but listen, history tends to repeat itself. These belief systems will fall the same way racism fell, and a lot of slavery and all the other bad belief systems fell. This one will fall also, and they're gonna come find all you people like you, and then they're gonna round all y'all up, and y'all not gonna be able to get a bag. Have fun for now. Enjoy your bread. It all falls down. Now, I got to get back into my normal preamble of the show. Time to get back into my normal preamble of the show. You guys know the deal. We're looking for a show sponsor. Everything over 20 qualifies. We hit $100 in the Cash App. We come back tomorrow, guaranteed. That's how that works. Now, we definitely don't want to go straight to the feature presentation. I know exactly what order I want to move the show along in. We're going to start right here. This is where I want to start, right here. Yeah. Okay? Let's spin the clip.
Jess is, first of all, I love her. But I admire her because she really lives in, I kind of decentered men for a while, like the last 5 years. I watch her show because I really feel like women control what men do. Basically, so many women accept stuff, so men are able to keep doing it. And you say that a lot. But Jess really lives in a life of like a fairy tale. And I admire her because I've been through a lot. So I think I'm kind of harder when it comes to relationships. But she's still at the point where she believes in love and things like that. And I don't like that to be stifled because she really can't have everything she wants. And I tell her that all the time. Like, she's a real beautiful person.
Well, Treese, how about this? I got this question. And she couldn't really give me an answer for it.
Okay.
She basically, and she said she would not date herself. So help me understand, how does it make sense to ask somebody to accept a deal that you would not accept yourself?
So, in the same breath, I am hard on Jeff for stuff like that. She can believe that, and I don't knock her believing it because you did ask her what her preference was. So preference.
There's a preference, but then I go back when you tell me 6 figures, and then I say, if he made $75K, should he not reach out? And she said, no, don't reach out.
And I don't fully agree with that, only because I feel like if I pay 100% of the bills and a man comes in and he could pay 50%, that's 50% off of me. So my life is already easier. So I just look for someone who can make life easier, you know what I mean? And vice versa for them. But I can't knock her for feeling like that. Now, we do live in an area where 75K is still a lot. And I look at data, I pull the numbers, the average here in our area is 40 to 60,000. So maybe she needs to move to Atlanta or New York, or you know what I mean?
Well,
But
I think that what happens is, listen, I always say this, I'm not God, right? So
yeah.
I'll never say anything is absolute. But the bottom line is this: you are asking a man to accept a deal that you would not accept yourself, which right there should tell you this is not a good deal. Like, as simple as that. As simple as that. What I would not accept me. I would not accept this, but you should accept it. That doesn't
I'm
even
not
make sense.
I'm not negating what you're saying. What I'm saying is I don't think it's wrong. Like you have to be around her. Like her
I
personality
don't know. I
is.
don't gotta be around her. This was
Oh,
the only
bring a little
no.
man.
Y'all
Bring a
listen, let
little
me tell you
man with
something.
paper.
No,
Nobody shade.
no, listen,
But
let me go on to you. No, I don't gotta be
okay.
around her. That's your friend. Let's continue. Treese, where you
Yes.
calling me? You how you say it, Trish?
Trees.
Treese, where you calling me from, baby?
I'm in Alabama as well.
And how old are you, love?
I am 37. Wait,
What do you
I'm
mean? Why
36.
are you
I
thinking
had a
about it?
I'm 36. I'm
Shaming
sorry.
Okay,
yourself.
what's
Ain't
your
nobody
zodiac
shade.
sign?
I'm a Scorpio.
All right. Do you have any kids?
I do. I have two.
Much love to Maurice. He joined the Dollar Crew.
How old are your two kids?
14 and 16. They are from the same guy. Let me just plug because I don't see this a lot, and I think a lot of times parents don't add this part. My son does have autism, and I would love to see more parents with special needs kids do stuff like this, but I feel like they don't out of fear of people rejecting them.
She does look like the blackest
So
twin
yeah,
daughter.
my son has autism, but yeah.
She
So
does.
Okay. Okay. Well, um, I'm quite sure you're a great mom.
yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So we got Trish, Alabama, 36. What do you do for a living?
I do technical support.
Technical.
Cafeterias.
All right. So Trish, Alabama, 36, Scorpio, mom of two kids, by the same man. Have you ever been married?
I have been married. I'm divorced. I've been divorced since January 2020.
Okay. She does technical support. What kind of man you looking for, Trish?
Trees. You said it right.
Trees. I
You said it
apologize.
right about
I
Shaming
know
half
I
the
be messing
time.
yourself.
names
Ain't
up. I'm
nobody
sorry.
shade.
Yeah. Actually, you cut me off on TikTok. It takes forever to load on TikTok. When people were like, you need a tutorial. It takes a while for people's cameras to load on TikTok. So you
I'm
cut
gonna
me
tell you
off.
something about
You
TikTokers.
told them people you don't need no tutorial.
I
They
don't
sit
need
on
no damn
TikTok all day.
tutorial. Everybody else can figure it out. If y'all can't figure it out, I'm going on to the next. Child, I'm running Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, YouTube. Y'all better catch me.
Yeah.
But back to you, Trees. What kind of man you looking for? You here on
um,
YouTube now.
I just want
Okay,
someone
Trees, stop
who.
moving though. Stop moving,
Oh,
baby.
sorry.
Okay.
I just want someone who likes to have fun and enjoy life. I feel like we have a ton of negative stuff we deal with at work, politics and the media or whatever. I just want someone who loves to enjoy life and can kind of set that stuff to the side and compartmentalize and just enjoy what's in front of them and enjoy the moment. So,
Okay. What are your deal breakers?
deal breakers is someone who negatively talks about any of their past experiences and relationships. Someone who is not like a go getter or ambitious, and someone who doesn't actively do the things that they say they like to do. So if their profile says, I like to go to basketball games or travel, and you ask them where they travel to, and they say Atlanta, you know? So, yeah.
Okay. Oh, Atlanta ain't good enough for you.
No, no. Well, when you see, well, I'm right here in Mobile, so that's like 4 hours away. So when I say, I'm saying like, have they traveled? You know.
Oh, okay. Should he look a certain way?
No, I've dated. No, I don't really have a preference on that.
Okay. Should he make a certain amount of money?
Again, I would say no. I would say that he just needs to be able to come here. I've had guys who say, I could pay the cable bill, the light bill, like that wouldn't work. But we need to be able to be a partnership. And if my life is not easier by us coming together and his life isn't easier by us coming together, then we probably shouldn't be together.
Okay. Let's do the.
All right, let me stop and read some Cash Apps real quick. Eric Cummings, drop 3, says, Dollar Crew salute. Much love to Eric Cummings. Benjamin Bustin actually took the show sponsor spot. He says, show sponsor. Y'all gonna have to take it from me. Got to pay over $25 to take the sponsor spot. Let's get it. We almost halfway to go. Appreciate everybody who supports daily. Take this moment to subscribe to the channel. All right, let's go ahead and get back into it.
Kendra can.
So I only got this dress on because Jess told me when I put it on the other day that she liked the dress. So
okay, let's see. Okay, let's see.
Like Bernice.
That's a big
How
one.
to get down in Mobile, Alabama.
Again, she started off, she led by starting trying to get 6 figures out of a man. I want to let you know, a lot of the overweight women in the community, you guys are all praying on wishing on a star, thinking that you're going to be at a physical disadvantage, which is the main thing that men take serious. And when we evaluate a woman, especially when we don't know anything about your personality, there's 2 evaluation processes. We have to evaluate you physically, which is actually the most important. Then we move on to the second, which is your personality, your character, your background, where you come from, so on and so forth. Do you have sense, or have you been raised right? Right? Then number 3 is like, can we tolerate you? You go through 3 filters. By the time you get to the 3rd one, we're about to keep you, but it's just a matter of if we can literally just tolerate you day to day. Right? But to get to those last 2 filters, we won't even care until you pass the first one. So again, a lot of you women, you can't get in the door with a good quality man and wonder why he doesn't find out, why men aren't seeing all these good qualities in you. It's because you don't care about the qualities that he deems the most important. That's what it is, actually. Okay, let's go ahead and get into it.
Alabama.
Yeah.
So say your name for me again, because I don't want to pronounce it wrong.
She right. Maybe 6
Trees.
months, less than a
Trees. When was
year.
the last
She could have that
relationship?
weight lost in 4 months.
It would have been my divorce. I tried to date in 2023.
Edwina says she's a
and then
sausage
found out he was
casing.
married, and then since then it was a wrap.
Okay.
It doesn't hit as hard when
you
the women do
don't
it.
have to answer, but I'm going to ask. When's the last time you was intimate with someone?
2023.
2023. Okay. 3 flaws you have to work on.
I don't check my text messages, so I know it's a big part of dating. And I need to be more active with that. I kind of miss a lot of opportunity in text messages. Cutting people off really quick. I can be more forgiving. That should probably be 2 of them, because I do that in my personal life and trying to date. That should be, I do that in friendships. And probably, what's another one? That's a big one. Make that 3. That's 3. Like, I'm real big on like shutting down. I guess I kind of shut down if something is negative or it doesn't make me happy.
Let's get into it. LT says, Don, more women support you with money than her. Yeah, like again, that's the biggest reason why, you know, a lot of her, she's seeing what we bring in daily too. Like, again, she has reason to be upset, but she shouldn't make it so easy to bring attention and gravity to a smaller channel by actually opening her mouth up and saying something. Debu says she can get on a flight to another continent, but won't go to the gym in her city. Insanity.
Shaming yourself. Ain't nobody shame.
Yeah, definitely. Women be talking about international travel. They talk about degrees that they've obtained. And what's interesting about these things is these things require a great deal of discipline and diligence to accomplish. So men wonder, well, wow, like, what if you actually put that energy into something that I'll find attractive in you? Because I don't care if you can travel. I don't care if you have a degree. I don't care if you have a bunch of money. Men are being muscled around and harassed by these modern masculine women. They're trying to force their money and like other things to matter to us, like Ike forcing cake in Atina's face. Like, and it's not fair. Like, men don't want to be muscled around. You guys don't want to be muscled around. If you guys date a guy and he's like, when are you gonna put out? I've been dating you for like a week. Like, when am I gonna hit it? You would find that forceful. But you guys are forceful with us. It's just in a different way.
I just cut it off and move on to the next thing.
Okay. All right. So should he gotta be in Alabama?
No.
Okay, I'm done with her. She's not getting 6 figures. I have to, there's so many archetypes to cover. I don't want, once we get the general gist of a woman, we have to move on.
No.
No. What's your zodiac sign?
I'm a Pisces.
Pisces.
Yep.
So we got Kyra, Detroit, 30, Pisces, medical billing and coding. One son, that's 10. All right, girlfriend, what kind of man you looking for?
Okay, I'm looking for number one, a leader. I need somebody that can lead me, somebody that can teach me things, show me things, you know, just be dominant in a relationship. I'm looking for somebody that's honest, somebody that's loyal, somebody that, you know, is strong-minded, not easily influenced by like family, friends, social media, things like that, like somebody that has their own mind. And yeah, somebody that just can support me and be there for me.
Okay. What are your deal breakers?
Deal breakers. Okay. Deal breakers are baby mama drama. I cannot do that. Any type of drama. Like if you're in anything, like in the streets, I don't want any of that. Like I don't have time for none of that. I don't want any of that. So that's a deal breaker. Like if you drug dealer, pimp, whatever. I don't.
Well, wait a second. You're drug dealer and pimp bait. Like, again, a lot of you women, I'm tired of you women in the black community who have done the least to clean up your image, the least to clean up your diction and the way that you speak. You've done the least to get the hood rat out of you, and you want sophisticated men now. Now you're tired of drug dealers. Now you're tired of like trap boys. But at the end of the day, that's not how you're carrying yourself. Your neck rolling. You got on the wheat. The hair is done just like the. Well, it's not. Well, it ain't even really about the hair. I think it's just about you and your mentality, the way you speak, your demeanor. There's a demeanor of a ratchet woman, and you carry it. I'm tired of you street hood bumpkin women coming out into the dating market talking about, okay, I'm done dealing with all the worst men in the dating market, and I have all their trauma hanging on me, and now I want to deal with all the men who don't have trauma now, even though I stink of trauma and I'm dripping in trauma, but I want to be with a man who doesn't have trauma so I can taint his life and then make him the blame for why I'm not happy. That's what a lot of you women are doing. A lot of you women think you're ready to stop dealing with Pookie. You're not ready to stop dealing with Pookie. You need therapy.
Lying, manipulative, and then just somebody that can't take accountability for their actions. I say those are at the top of my head. Like that's all I can think of right now.
Okay. Should he look a certain way?
Like a handsome man, but I don't have a specific type. So like all that dark skin, light skin. I mean, yeah, like I'm not really into that. But you know, I do like something to look at. I do also like medium ugly too though. So like if you are not like, you know, the most handsome man in the world, that's fine too. Like I can be attracted to you off your personality, you know, just have a hint of something that I could be attracted to. I'm attracted to features.
Ma'am, I don't know if you guys think that like men are more absorbent of these kind of attacks, but they're not. Men respond to being called ugly emotionally the same way you do. We just handle it better. See, what you guys are doing is you guys are going out into the world and seeing how well men deal with rejection. And what you're doing is you're thinking that that's strength or that that's a catalyst, but we just know how to control ourselves better than you, but we still have a response to being insulted. You guys are just throwing ugly around lately. Again, this is no different than all he needs to do is make enough money to take care of himself. How now all the women are saying that. You're just taking something that you heard a bunch of women say, and just because you heard a bunch of ridiculous women who are certainly going to buy a dog say a thing, that doesn't mean you should say it. There isn't a lot of success in the black community in the female sector. So why would you copy off of those women? It'd be one thing if black women were marrying at a higher rate. Then it'd be like, okay, let's lead and follow each other's examples. None of you broads are getting married. You guys see zero success in your community, and you're like, oh, I'm gonna copy off of that one. I'm gonna copy off that woman who doesn't have success. It's really crazy. I like the guy who from the last balloon pop show who we reacted to, and he popped the balloon on the woman just because her answer was the same answer that he's heard every woman respond with. And like, men are tired of hearing that these unoriginal, unauthentic responses. It shows that you're lazy and you don't want to think about it.
So that's my big thing. Like, you might have some nice lips. I might like your eyes, you know, something like that. So just handsome, medium ugly.
Medium ugly is the new term, child. Although I hate the word ugly, but that's what y'all using these days. Should he make a certain amount of money?
Certain amount of money. I don't have a specific number on that, but I do want you to, you know, number one, have everything you should have as an adult. So I don't want you to have like any roommates or anything like that, sharing cars with anybody. So as long as you're just like, you know, where you are supposed to be at this age, I'm fine. Yeah, that's all I would say. As long as you got your stuff together, I'm good.
Okay. Let's do the Kendra Cam.
Okay.
Okay. It's small. Are you sure?
I'm 5'2".
Okay. You're a itty bitty thing. When was your last relationship, Kyra?
My last relationship ended like 3 months ago. It was 9 years, so it was a long-term relationship.
Okay. You don't have to answer, but I'm gonna ask. When's the last time you was intimate with someone?
3 months.
3 months ago. 3 flaws you have to work on.
Okay, I wrote those down because I really had to think about it, because I've been to therapy and all of that, like to work on the things that I feel like were really a problem for me, like as far as my temper and stuff like that. So, but I'm good with that now. I done learned stuff through therapy and anger management. I don't let nobody get me where now, but okay. So my 3 flaws, number one, I would say I'm kind of clingy. So if I do like you, I do want to be around you. And like, you know, I might not be okay with going 2-3 days without talking to you because I might lose interest. I hate that about me too. Like, if I don't talk to you for 2-3 days and I'm dating and I go on a date with, you know, the next guy and he's, you know, there making me laugh, having a good time, then I'm thinking like, well, you know, where were you for 2-3 days? Because this guy done slid in and, you know, now my attention is elsewhere.
Shaming yourself. Ain't nobody shame.
Fellas, I want you all to know something. Ladies, women like this, I'm not saying that when women are in the dating process that they should be just exclusive to one guy, because they don't have to necessarily. But women who choose to not divide their attention are better quality women 9 times out of 10. Women who have like this thing that we're like, oh my God, like you left me sitting by myself. I feel single now. I'm going to go out and find another peen to jump on. That's going to be her reflex every time you guys have problems, every time you guys come into issues in your relationship. She's going to go back to that same kind of mentality. She's going to come back to your house smelling like another guy. That's what's going to end up happening. Women like her think that like it's so, like she thinks that like you can cheat back and do what the guy do a him on him, and then she ends up blowing the whole relationship up because she forgot the rules. A guy could do it 1,000,001 times, but if you do it, it actually means more, and you're gonna end up ruining the relationship because the rules aren't the same for us. And some might go, well, what do you mean the rules ain't the same? What do you mean, blah, blah, blah? Listen, whoever that person is watching this, you haven't grown up yet. You're not at that level yet where you can have this conversation like a big boy or a big gal. You haven't accepted the things that maybe some of the women in your parents from your past haven't even accepted, that men are gonna always be men. You can cry about it or write a book about it, write some poetry, watch Steel Magnolias, do whatever the hell you gotta do, but men are gonna be men. And like, until women start accepting that, there's always gonna be very rough discourse around fidelity or infidelity or whatever. And it's always gonna be all this hiding and lying in the dating market. Guys are lying because they wanna be who they really wanna be. They're not even all bad guys. They're lying because they don't have anywhere to be honest. That's why so many of y'all are hitting women and so on and so forth. Society won't let men be men. You'd be seen if society would let men be men.
So what's wrong with that? That's how it's supposed to work.
Yeah, I mean, I guess so.
Ladies, here's the deal. This is the problem I think a lot of girls make. If he's not your man, if he hasn't decided to take you off the market, date. And you don't get mad like you date. Like,
Says
a lot of women
woman.
make themselves exclusive to men before they even decide if they're going to be exclusive to you. So I'm not saying have sex with everybody, so hear me clearly. But if he has not locked in you completely and all your undivided attention, then you absolutely should be dating other men.
Shut up, Kendra. You don't know what you're talking about. Amazement 717 just dropped in Cash App. He just joined the Dollar Crew. He says, medium ugly equals another black woman narcissism example. Yeah, it's like, and you know what? I guess I never really thought about it, but the more I sit here and think about it, it is very narcissistic of black women to be like, you want to know what? I want a guy who isn't as nearly as attractive as I am so that I can feel better about myself all the time. I need to be able to look at him and know that in some way he's lucky to be here. And I need that to feel significant. It comes from such an insecure and low vibrational place that I'm not sure how destructive and evil you women sound when you say it. Because it isn't just mean and short. That's just one layer of it. The other part of it is that you're an awful person. You don't consider other human beings the way that you should. You're lacking in empathy. She's definitely a Pookie lover, and she smells like it. I just don't like her trying to date the men who have something going for themselves. Stay with Pookie. He molded you into that dream-catching, weave-flicking chick that you are.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
Why you want to come over here with the sophisticated men now?
Like,
we're good.
I hate,
get back.
dividing my attention. I mean, I like it, I'm not gonna lie, but it's hard because I just totally lose interest. Then I don't want to talk to you at all, which, like you said, it's not a problem. You're not my man.
Well, no, if you don't want to talk to him at all, then you don't want to talk to him at all. No one's forcing you to talk to him.
Always having to start talking to other people because, like, okay, I'm kind of off you now. Like, you made me feel like you were able to go 2-3 days without talking to me. And
ma'am, do you want to deal with a man who has a life or not? Like, a lot of men who are working, see, this is so frustrating because you women want to deal with the 6-figure men in the dating market, but the 6-figure men in the dating market can't sit up in your face all day. They don't have the time like the guy who makes less. He's not going to be around you all the time. You might have to go a few days without talking to him. And some people are like, well, he has time. You make time for what you want, blah, 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 blah. Some men just don't have the time. And they'll tell you, I'll talk to you in a few days. You going to be all right? And see, this is definitely the kind of women who are more bonding the men through intercourse than through bonding with men through rapport. Like, they're looking like, because black women only get like this with you until you crack them. And then when you sleep with them and then they see that you're good in bed, then they go, oh, I'm latched on to you forever. You better not get this to nobody else, yada, yada, yada. Now she has to see you every day. Black women, you guys will improve the moment that a guy's worth when it comes to his ability to provide and take care of you and to secure you. When that starts making you want to latch on to a man, you're going to be getting somewhere. I'll let you know that, black women. Like, a lot of y'all are waiting to see if he has a third leg to see if you're supposed to take him serious. That means you're broken. You've learned to bond with men through intercourse. You must get help. That's not the way you're supposed to be bonding with men. And then you're trying to set it up for the day to where you hit it real good. And first you tried to play him like a goofy, and then he did it in a way to where you liked it, and now you're like confused and delusional now. And now all of a sudden he has to be in your face every single day. All of my third leg guys know what I'm talking about. She was trying to play you like a lame, then as soon as you hit it, now all of a sudden she's like, I don't know, I'm confused. I'm like, what are we? Like, it's just after I don't know, something about after what just happened, I'm wondering are we together? And like, then all of a sudden it's confusion. Then all of a sudden it's confusion. But I'm trying to tell you guys, these are the broken women. It might be flattering, like, yeah, got her wanting to fall in love with a nigga. but you have to come out of that. You have to look past that and understand that this woman is broken. This woman needs therapy. Be careful, fellas.
I'm kind of cool on that. You know, I'm not the type to trip on that. That's so maybe you confirming, okay, I'm how I should be.
Well, it's the reason why it's the biggest mistake women make. Because what happens is,
Much love to him, not them. He says, IBS, keep doing your thing. He dropped 5. Let's get it.
in the dating
Almost halfway there.
process, they make the guy boyfriend, husband. They literally cut off other people, but that guy hasn't even made you his girlfriend. So if he doesn't make you his girlfriend, you absolutely have the right, and you should be busy, because at the end of the day, you shouldn't be waiting for him to make decisions. Women, y'all say y'all a prize, right? If you're a prize, then move around. And again, I'm not saying have sex with all these guys.
They can't own it.
But whoever gives you the most attention is the guy that's supposed to get your attention.
Yeah, that's how I feel.
Oh, the guy who gives you the most attention is supposed to. What if it's Jeffrey Dahmer, Kendra? Or OJ? Like anybody? So what if the guy who's giving her the most attention isn't the best option? Or maybe, I don't know. Oh, I guess this isn't 2 + 2, Kendra. I guess this conversation is a little bit more nuanced than that. Now, we've seen her. We've seen what we're dealing with. Now, this is one of the most absurd displays of just lack of carelessness, lack of self-awareness, and putting on display, just like the lady we just reacted to did in a subtle way. This woman did it in a much more overt way. Prove that Black women put far more of an importance on, or significance on, stimulation, being stimulated sexually, than they do on the substance and the quality of a man, long-term marriage, family, ultimately legacy. Black women are not thinking about this. This is why we have so many single mother-led households, okay? Kendra G is going to try to press her about the issue with her situation. And of course, she does the typical hyena dance. We're going to get into it and break it down. Then we're going to move on to the feature presentation. Let's spin the clip.
For a living.
I'm in the medical field.
Medical fields. Do you have any kids?
I do.
How many kids?
I have 3.
How old are your 3 kids?
20, 16, and 6.
20, 16, and 6. All by the same man?
Yes.
Have you ever been married?
No.
No? Okay. Why did y'all get married?
It's just not for me.
Why you have 3 kids by him?
Because I wanted kids. Like he.
Whoa, 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 whoa.
Shame in yourself. Ain't nobody shame.
I beg your pardon.
Because she just wanted kids, everybody. Because she just wanted kids. Did you guys get that? Where's Dr. Umar and everybody else who says that Black men need to step up? We've left these women in these circumstances. Yet in so many ways or another, Black women are proving that they find more value in having a child than starting a family. That's why they don't really take a good look at the man until they have the child. Because once they have the child, they feel like they have some sort of leverage. Then they evaluate the man to see if they want to stay there. Because they always know they could take the child and have a better deal. Do you think Black women didn't develop this reflex from nowhere? What's sad is she might be sort of telling the truth, but it's a lie she's been kind of convincing herself of because she knows she isn't going to win in the first place. She doesn't know, she probably on some level doesn't think she's worthy. On some level doesn't think it's possible for her. But it's easier to do this. Right? It's easier to do that dance.
Has to be put on what we have. or what we did have.
Okay. Do you want to get married or you don't want to get married?
Actually, I would say no.
Okay.
No.
All right. So we got Maria, South Carolina, 37. What's your zodiac sign?
I'm a Taurus,
When's your birthday?
May 12th.
Okay, May 12th. I'm May 7th. All right. Maria, South Carolina, 37, Taurus, medical fields. Mine are 3 kids by the same man, never married. What kind of man you looking for, girl?
To be honest, I'm looking for something more. I'm not looking for a man, but if I do find one, it has to be like, I'm a very sexual person.
What?
So if you don't match
My
what I'm
goodness.
looking for, it's just not going to work.
Oh my goodness. Just come right on out
so we
with
got
it.
there early. So you have a high sex drive?
I do.
Now, I want all you guys to hear what she just said. Because again, every now and again, there will be some black woman who's going to step up and make an admission that exists in the subconscious mind of a large portion of our women. She's just crazy enough to actually say it out loud. She just said that if you cannot crack her the right way, if you do not have that chemistry with her, it is not going to work out. I'm here to say this is a very common belief system within the black female populace. This is why they are not finding men who want to actually father their children. The men that they're breeding with are men who are there for a moment. Because they're starting at, I want to feel good and feel stimulated. He looks like he can do it. He's got a tattoo on his face. I like the way he walks. Stupid shit. But either way, this is how the black female single mother, based off the data as well. Because again, I haven't met a father who wants to father his child that hasn't, or at least made an attempt to. Men who are looking to get custody of their children and so on and so forth, they spend millions of dollars to do it, to gain custody or to gain partial custody. It's been proven that when women are put in the same circumstance, they're not willing to work as hard to fight to get back in their children's life. And I use that statistic, why? I use it to put in a perspective that it's poor decision-making, destroying our community. Black fathers are not walking away from their homes. That's all I'm saying. Let's get back into the show. And she admitted it. She said, if you can't please me in that way, I don't care if you can pay my bills. I don't care if you'll take care of me for a lifetime. I'm going on to look for a big dick Tyrone.
So that's most important to you.
Yes.
Shame on you, lady.
I think, okay. Is there amount of times in a week that he needs to be open to?
No.
You see how Kendra kind of muffled with it because she never even thought about it herself. She was like, oh, well, that sort of sounds right, but for some reason I feel like you're doing something wrong. But I haven't really thought about it, and, you know.
No, I just want somebody that can, like, match my freak, as they say.
What in the world?
If you can't match it, I feel like our relationship's not going to work because
Ain't nobody shame.
9 times out of 10, I'm going to eventually cheat. So what's the point? If it's not there, it's just not there.
Yeah, so again, she can't even promise fidelity without having that spot hit, having that itch tingle.
Child, what?
Nasty work.
You be honest, you know,
I'm
you
a very
know
honest
yourself.
person. I'm very honest when it comes to what I'm looking for and what I want.
They're telling me to ask you, are you a nympho?
Yes. Yeah.
What's up, Jaleel? How you doing, man? Glad you're here.
No?
Yeah. Yeah. And no.
Stop it. You are.
Shaming yourself. Ain't
Squared
nobody
Away
ashamed.
says she's a roster slot. That's all right. Men would never look at you and be like, oh, this is something that I should like hang out with for the rest of my life. Thanks for that contribution, brother. They'd never be like, oh, this is the woman that I hang out with for the rest of my life. No, ever. They'd just be like, this is a woman who, you know, deal with, get rid of her, never call her again.
That makes sense.
Okay.
Because
well, any
why?
other requirements besides a high sex drive?
You gotta be a provider, leader, somebody that takes charge. Put me in my place a little bit,
No.
but like
I
not
beg your pardon?
like abuse type. Put me in my place, just a little bit. Is that too forward? Is that too
What the
forward?
hell is
Well,
even
you
that?
said abuse put you in your place. What do you mean?
So put me in my place, but not abuse wise. Like talk to me like, hey, sit your ass down. That kind of like aggressive a little bit, but not too aggressive.
So you want a man to tell you to sit your ass down?
Girl, are you listening?
Well, give me an example of what. Okay, I'm listening,
No,
but I'm
like I
trying
said,
to understand.
Hip-hop.
That's why I didn't want to come on here because
Well, you called me, honey, and you sat in queue for like 4.
Kareem just dropped 10. Who was this hyena who just came into the scene? Kareem Bonus just dropped 10. He says, gold pot. Much love, brother. Appreciate you, Kareem. I'm glad that my partner just went through and grabbed the names of all the donors from top to bottom, because we're doing a live stream for all the people who've been donating, especially because we can narrow it down. It's so specific that we can narrow it down. There's no way we're not doing a live stream just for you guys. Everybody else gonna have to buy their way in. Benjamin Bussin just came through again with 35, and he says CASHAPP sponsor. And he that certainly puts us over goal. Jaleel just dropped 5. Says help and show goal. We're at 115, y'all. We made goal. Thank y'all very much for supporting. This is like our 10th show, I think, in a row making goal. I think that's the first time we've done that. Thank you guys very much for supporting. I appreciate everybody who's been rocking. Thank you very, very, very much. I appreciate you guys. Much love. Thank you. Okay. Let's go ahead and finish this off so that we can move on to the feature presentation.
40 minutes.
Listen, this is my first time on here.
Either way, you don't say you ain't want to come on here. You literally sat in queue for 40 minutes to be on here.
To her, thank you.
She don't got no applause. You're not in handcuffs. You could have got up. You could have said no. You decided to be here.
You did.
So when I say I want something aggressive, that means in the bedroom. That's it.
Okay. 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 Any other deal breakers?
Drama. I don't deal well with drama.
Okay. Should he look a certain way?
No. I don't go off looks. No.
Don't go off looks. What about money? Should he make a certain amount of money?
No. As long as you make me happy and I'm in a good spirit, it doesn't matter to me.
Could he have kids?
Of
Too
course.
old for this.
Okay. Let's do the Kendra Cam.
Can you turn it around?
What that mean?
You gotta stand up.
I gotta stand up.
Yes.
We don't know.
I don't know how to turn it around. You gotta turn it around.
Wait, we gotta see your legs. Will we see the booty, child? Okay.
See the booty.
She already told you she freaky. She already told you what it is. Maria, do you want him in South Carolina?
What was that? I'm sorry.
You want him?
No, as long as you make me happy and I'm in a good. What was that? I'm sorry.
You want him in South Carolina? You gotta stand up.
I gotta stand up.
Yes.
I was in the way. That's why I'm redoing the Kendrick Cam. I was in the way.
You gotta turn around.
Wait, we gotta see your legs. Will we see the booty, child? Okay.
See the booty.
She already told you she freaky. She already told you what it is. Maria, do you want him in South Carolina?
What was that? I'm sorry.
You want him in South Carolina?
Do you want him in South Carolina?
No. Further out, the better.
Okay.
Travel.
Okay, you're 37. What's the age range you want to date?
She says the further out the better because she's a damn Travelicia. Let's continue.
40 to like 55.
Excuse me.
Okay. When was your last relationship?
About 3 years ago.
3 years ago.
Mhm.
You don't have to answer, but I'm gonna ask. I actually want you to answer, but you don't have to answer. When was the last time you was intimate with someone? But you don't have to answer. But I'm just curious because you told me you freaky.
Go ahead.
You don't have to answer though if you don't want to.
It was today.
Girl,
Shame in
I'm so
yourself.
sorry.
I beg your pardon.
this is why I wanted you to answer. Okay, so the guy you was with today, what's up with him?
It was my kid's father. You know, I backslide I'm single, so I backslide with something that I know. Just not
So
around
you
me.
have 3 kids with him. The youngest is 6.
Mhm.
So this is why sometimes people don't want to date women with kids or men with kids because of the baby mama baby.
And what's foolish of you women is to think that when you do this, that you're not staining your value as if you were to go out and get with another guy or another body, somebody you haven't been with. You're like, oh, I don't want to increase my body count, so I'll just go back to one of my baby daddies. You're an idiot. That is not, matter of fact, it's more shameful when you couldn't stay together for your kids, but you can come back for your coochie. Shame on you.
Shame in yourself.
Shame on you. Shame on you. And you disrespect your kids. You couldn't stay together. You couldn't stay together and get along with him, but you can come back to take care of your own sexual needs with that man. But you couldn't figure out a way to work it out, but y'all can work out a little humpy hump deal. Crazy, 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 crazy diabolical work. This is exactly what I'm talking about when I say black women are not valuing the black family when they pick a man to have a child with. This is what I'm referring to. This right here exactly. This is not unfamiliar to so many men. Out of all the black men tuning in, I can guarantee you this is not an unfamiliar situation and not an unfamiliar scenario. We all know somebody who has at least been through this, been with a woman, she went back with her baby father or whatever the case may be, or she didn't even go back. She just slept with him or whatever the case may be. He's just peeing for whenever she wants it. Yet she couldn't figure out a way to make it work, but she could work out a way to where they could not be together, have children, and still be able to have sex, which is a far more complex deal to work out, you stupid motherfucker. It speaks to how much you desire sex and how unwilling you are to build a family. The people who are invested in keeping the black family apart, as soon as they can take me out, they probably will.
Daddy, it's the guaranteed penis or vagina that's always on the shelf.
No. We both have an understanding once, we both find whatever we're looking for is done, And I can accept it. I haven't found what I was looking for yet, so to fulfill my needs, I kind of backslide a little bit.
So, and with this man, you don't have any interest of y'all just being together.
Nah.
But let me ask you this. Do you even want to be in a relationship, period?
I do eventually, but I feel like I've been in long-term relationships my whole life. I want to have a little fun.
Okay. 3 flaws you have to work on, Maria.
Now, this goes for any BW or any woman in the dating market who might have that same idea that they have time to that they still have time to have fun, and you're already 15 years past the danger zone. You didn't have time to play when you were 29. You were already late and old for marriage. See, the belief system around how much time you have to have quote unquote fun is all messed up in the black female sector. Black women believe that they have unlimited tomorrow, basically, in so many words. They believe that they can always glow up and make a comeback. It's more true for men. And that's why women like Kendra G resent older men who are successful in the dating market so much, because they get so many lives. Now,
attitude.
Let's go ahead and finish it so we can move on.
In my time, maybe I'm always running behind on something.
What are and why would a guy be lucky to be with you?
Why would he be lucky to be with me? I'm fun, outgoing, lady in the street, and a freak in the bed. So
You're right, Apollo. She just can't stop talking about sex. It's like no matter what we do, no matter where Kendra tries to take the conversation, she's like, well, you know. And again, black women, so that they don't feel bad about being loose, they just slogan their life. They be like, well, I know how to be a freak in the street, but I'm classy in the streets, but a freak in the streets. It's like so that a guy will think you're both. No, we'll just think you're just a hoe. Flat out. And you're right, Apollo Creed said it best. There is no tomorrow. Him and Rocky are on the beach. Rocky's looking like a piece of shit. He's not motivated. He's not taking his training serious. Apollo knows Mr. T's gonna kill him. And Rocky's like, tomorrow. And Apollo's like, there is no tomorrow, Rock. Just the same way, just like a nigga would do. That's why that was, what I loved about that is that's how black people, that's how we get in each other's ass. That was so real to see a black man treating a white man that way, an Italian man, and him giving him that black love like that, how we shout and we scream at each other. We might even hit each other, but it's how we love one another. It was beautiful. For him to give Rocky a little bit of that Negro, that Negro lashing. They took him to the black gym so that he could learn proper rhythm, so that he could get his shit right. Oh, beautiful, beautiful.
All right, here's some paid questions for you. Okay. Mr. Gino says Shorty is serious about that meat.
You know, I grew up with 6 brothers, so I'm a little more direct than most females. But yes, I'm very serious about my meat. Yeah. What's wrong with that? I'm taking a little medicine.
That has to be the most vile thing I've ever heard spoken on Kendra G's show. Like, or that's the most vile way we've ever heard a woman express herself about desiring intercourse from a man. So much so that I just I had to make it a sound.
Yes, I'm very serious about my meat. Yeah. What's wrong with that?
It's now going to be a sound. It's going to be a permanent sound on the show. Every time a woman is being too out there and she's and she's trying to talk and she's talking too like revealing about like her sexual past or about what she wants to experience in the future, we're simply going to play this sound.
Yes, I'm very serious about my meat. Yeah. What's wrong with that?
Ma'am, you're too serious about it. The issue is that you're taking it too serious. See, and one of the biggest issues in this conversation, when I open this conversation up with black women about like you guys are prioritizing stimulation over substance too much, I refer to things like this. Like you got, but I needed you to be as open as a lot of these black women are not willing to be. You are very important to me. You represent what a lot of black women think in their subconscious mind, and I know it because it reflects in their decisions. You know, you're just the only person willing to say this.
Yes, I'm very serious about my meat. Yeah. What's wrong with that?
It's something about saying my meat. That's just, it's very aggressive. It's just something very off-putting about it. Like I know that you're one of those women that when you like find a guy and he can crack it well, then you start acting like you own him. You're ready to fight any woman over him. You're ready to pull up. And it's not even about protecting a long-term investment for yourself, like and being cared for. It's just about making sure no other woman gets that sweet willy.
Gotcha. But yes, I'm very serious about my meat.
Gotcha.
What's wrong with that?
You guys seen it live. You guys saw the sound be created live. My goodness. I'm moving on from you. I'm done with you. There's nothing else. Now, possibly the most delusional single mother, probably will top 10, because there is no most delusional. That's just impossible. We're never going to have a most delusional. There's always going to be a woman who's going to come through and try the untryable. They're going to try to get the guy that they know for sure is out of their range. Even though it doesn't make sense, they're still going to stand on business. It makes for very entertaining conversation. Somebody says turn it up. Somebody says turn the sound up. They were complaining about the sound effects being too loud. I'll turn it up just so that you guys can hear that new sound effect. They love that new sound effect, lady. Thank you. You ladies are helping build my business. You guys want to hear that again?
Yes, I'm very serious about my meat. What's wrong with that?
I think the last part is the funniest. I think the last part is the funniest part. What's wrong with that? What's wrong with that? I'm very serious about my meat. Woo! My goodness. Okay, one more time.
But yes, I'm very serious about my meat. What's wrong with that?
It's never going to get old, just like this
Shame
one.
in yourself.
All right, let's get back into it.
All right. Okay. How old are you?
I'm 30.
30. And what you do for a living?
I'm actually a principal at a school.
Principal. Okay. You have any children?
I do have one. She's 7.
Okay. Have you ever been married?
I have not.
Okay. And so we got Jessica. What's your zodiac sign?
I'm a Sagittarius.
Sagittarius. So we got Jessica, Mobile, Alabama, 30, Sagittarius, principal, mom to a 7-year-old.
Yes,
Never
ma'am.
married. What kind of man you looking for, girl?
I need somebody that's going to provide, that is well-rounded, and, everything around the house. I don't want to have to call nobody if, I got a leak, if I need my yard fixed. I just need somebody well-rounded and providing in all things, and that's a follower of Jesus Christ as well.
Okay.
Okay. Again, we had a lot of modern women today asking for guys who can build houses and fix things and so on and so forth. You guys are the least willing to cook meals. You guys are the only women in history who are in negotiation with their men about who should cook, who should clean, yet you guys want everything that the men of old were doing. Well, listen, they were responding to a different kind of woman. You understand? It was not you. It was a different kind of woman. It was a woman who was far more understanding when it came to understanding that men were in one position and they were in another. Maybe not better or worse. Just his position is that, my position is this, and I'm all right with that. And I'm not going to challenge that. You women aren't that. Stop asking for the way of old. You're not the women of old. You guys be like, can I build a house? It'd be like, hold on, what's building a house to a meal? If I can build a house, that's far more valuable than you making a meal anyway. You're just finding another way to show that I'm better than you. You see that? That's why you should be on your best behavior. You offer me a meal, at my best, I could build you a house. Who you think has the leverage in that deal? The person who can build a house, or the person who all they have to do is shut up, be fit, and clean?
What's your deal breaker?
And ladies, I want to just briefly, and then I'm going to continue the show. I want to let you guys know we loved acting like you were the prize for the time that we did. We did. We loved acting like you guys were the prize and doo-wopping down the street and singing our sweet nothings to you and acting like we're the ones chasing something that we don't have, we acting like we chasing something that's going to take care of us. We got to take care of you. You're basically going to be like another child, but we still doo-wop down the street and like, hey girl, how you doing? Let's act like you really are fighting to not be swept off your feet. We loved playing that game, ladies. Y'all ruined it. The moment y'all came out there and was like, I can get as much money as you. Like, get out of the way, man. Let me get on this assembly line. Then all of a sudden we were like, ugh, like, you know what? Get them mics and all them amps, wrap them cords up and shit. We're not doing nothing for these hoes. Let them sing. Let them hoes. Maybe them hoes will sing to themselves. We kind of miss being like, we used to like acting like we weren't the prize, so that we could play this cute game with y'all. Now we can't even do it no more. Y'all fucked it up. Too bad. I liked it. I enjoyed kind of like playing like I was the one gaining something. That was cute. Raven says, watching your videos has helped me with dating. See that, Kendra? See that, Kendra? Kendra G, I want you to pay attention to that. You see that? That's a woman. And see, we got like 3 black women married in our first year reacting to your channel. It continued to happen. So again, it's crazy. I wonder why people can't just watch you read off that boring ass list of questions and they can get married. Because even if you match somebody on your show, you didn't create like the information that would help them be able to get married. It just so happened that they were a match, which is still valuable. Shouts out to you in that regard. But I'm just saying, you're not fucking with us people who are actually like giving out real game. That's all I'm saying. This ain't what you want.
Oh, I can't take no mama boys.
No mama boys?
Mm-mm. No Trump supporters. And that's all I can think of at the moment.
Okay. Should he look a certain way?
I feel like I'm over the stage of the way that people look.
Yeah, right.
I'm kind of gearing towards, I like them a little ugly now.
Right.
Like them look ugly?
Now we like them a little ugly. Here we go.
I need everybody looking at them.
Again, that's very narcissistic, just like that commenter has said earlier. Don't know why I was so slow to noticing it, but it is true. It's very narcissistic to assume that a man who is less attractive is like, or whatever, that you're safer in that dynamic, or that's going to be an easier man to deal with. You're foolish for thinking that. And again, all these men end up doing is they end up getting abused by these women when they eventually perform the way most women perform. For example, when women takes an example on a guy who she originally didn't find to the top of her attraction standard, what she does is when he makes mistakes in the dating market, she goes, how dare this ugly ass motherfucker do that? Right? And that's wrong. That's not how you're supposed to think. You're not supposed to be like, if you get with a guy and say, how dare you cheat on me, and I was the best thing that you could do, and I was the best thing that would have ever talked to you, that makes you a bad person. And I'm gonna tell you why. The reason why that makes you a bad person is because you came into a situation that you already had slanted to your advantage, and you based a lot of the decisions of your relationship off of a slanted deal. So of course things slid off the table and fell and hit the ground like it was supposed to. Grow some integrity.
Medium ugly.
Medium ugly, that's it.
They call him medium ugly. Okay. Should he make a certain amount of money?
Yes. I need at minimum 6 figures.
So a minimum 100K and more.
I beg your pardon?
Shaming yourself. Ain't nobody shame.
There's a liar gaze. I told y'all there's a liar gaze. There's a dishonest look in a Negro's eyes that I've become so familiar with, and when I see it, I know what I'm seeing. I know that look of a woman who just said something that she knows she shouldn't have said, and now she's just sitting back hoping to see if anybody buys it, but she can't keep an authentic gaze.
Alabama, that's like a millionaire, right?
Mm-hmm.
6 figures. So if he made 75K, you couldn't mess with him.
No. I provide a pretty luxurious lifestyle for myself and my child. So anybody
I'm here
coming
to tell
in
you
less
right
than
now,
or below me,
we
it's
don't
not gonna
care.
work.
Let me tell you something. We don't care.
Okay, hear me out. Hear me out.
Okay.
But if he had 75, that would be 75K in addition to what you already have. So wouldn't that be an increase? Or you're saying you want to meet a man and you don't want to pay no more bills ever again?
The latter. Meet a man, I ain't trying to pay no more.
Was that the dynamic you have with your son's father?
No. I don't feel like that doesn't count though.
How does it not count? You have a whole child by that man.
It doesn't count.
I want y'all to see that again. This is rare level delusion.
5K in addition to what you already have. So wouldn't that be an increase? Or you're saying you want to meet a man and you don't want to pay no more bills ever again?
The latter. Meet a man, I ain't trying to pay no more.
Was that the dynamic you have with your son's father?
No. I don't feel like that doesn't count though.
How does it not count? You have a whole child by that man.
It doesn't count. It don't
Let
count.
me say this.
What? Hold on. Wait a second. Like, she just said, oh, it doesn't count. Kendra, I guess she just thought that Kendra was going to let that sit as she left it. And then she said, she doubled down. She goes, no, that doesn't count. And we say that like a lot of these single black mothers are living in their own world when it comes to like their past. This is why the narrative has shifted to black men not being there for kids, not black women making poor decisions when they have them. No. It's just that we're leaving. Oh, okay. Oh, all right. I don't think that that's true. Black women, you have babies with men you don't respect. Then when the baby comes, you're like, oh yeah, I don't respect you. I understand these type of circumstances personally. Like this type of stuff happens. Women will have a child with you. Then be like, oh yeah, all along, I ain't even really respect you like that. I don't even know what I was thinking. All right. See you later. Happens all the time. And then they be like, and then when somebody asks them about the situation 10 years down the road, they act like, oh, they say I was young. Even though what made them walk away from the guy with the baby was stuff that they saw before they even got pregnant. But when they tell the situation in hindsight, they act as if they were just some young girl who was blindsided. It's so dishonest.
Okay, let me say this to you. Maybe to you it doesn't count, but it will count to men. Okay?
Exactly.
So I think women, you got to understand the male's perspective. So what you're telling me is and not saying that it's not going to happen, but here's the ask. If a man doesn't make more than you, he's out, right? So if there's a man that doesn't make six figures, you won't even give him an opportunity, period. Now, but you had a whole child by a man who didn't make six figures, and now you want a six-figure man to take care of you and your child. So you got to understand the male's mind and how he may say, well, how is that fair? Like, I have to take care of you and your kid, and I make this amount of money, which I have to work to make this amount of money. That doesn't matter to you?
What the hell you mean, we?
I don't feel like I'm asking somebody on the first date to bring a W-2 to the table. So I wouldn't say like
No, you're not, but you're just telling me right now, if a man didn't make six figures, don't even reach out to you. So at the door, you're not giving a man a shot if he doesn't make more than 100K. And I think, and I'm not saying that you won't get this man, but you already X'd out men who basically, your baby daddy couldn't even meet those requirements, and he got a baby out of it.
Right. We live and learn, but I see what you're saying.
Right. Well, that's good. As long as you understand. But again, you saying that you live and learn, that's closer to taking accountability than saying like, oh yeah, I was young. But really even saying that you live and you learn, that's actually still dishonest. Never mind. That's still dishonest. Because to say that you live and learn it's kind of like implying that you're just now gaining wisdom in hindsight. But that isn't what the data's saying. Kendra G is already noticing that. She's saying, don't nothing make y'all want to break up faster than a baby. It's because the wisdom of that you had already accumulated that you from when you had dealt with the man before the baby comes rushing to the surface the moment dire circumstances happen. This is how the human mind works with everything. When you're dealing with abusive people, so on and so forth, they'll hurt you in so many micro ways all the way up until a major blow that usually is the determining factor in if the relationship continues or not. But the final blow isn't so bad if it wasn't for all those microaggressions leading up. That's why when women have children with black men, their vision becomes clear after the child is either conceived or born, because at that point, there's no more room for the delusion. There's no more room for seeing the guy or have seeing the guy anymore. You have to all the way see him with both eyes. So, but if one eye was open, that means they had information. It just, that information didn't matter until the subject of you having to raise a child with this person comes into play. But they had the information. Black women, stop saying stuff like you live and you learn. Because you guys know better before you're having these babies. That's my point about black men not leaving homes. Stop acting like men who made a choice to be a father all of a sudden got tired of that decision. Because that's what I would call a deadbeat father. Not a man who never intended on having a baby with you and you're just chasing them around with white people and paperwork. That's not a man. You're not gonna make a man be a father. All you women out there who are using these systems and stuff to do that, you're pathetic, you're losers. And you don't care about the safety of your child. Why would you even take a child somewhere he don't want to be? You're a loser.
Ooh, child.
Or take a child somewhere the child isn't wanted. Stupid.
Let's do the Kendra Cam.
I'm in my jammies because it's nighttime.
Okay. All right. Okay. Jessica, what's the age?
Kareem Bonus says, clinical delusion to the side. This is a principle of school. The youth are doomed. Absolutely. Especially if they're being raised by these women.
Range you would date? You're 30.
I would have to say 35 to 55.
Okay. 35 to 55. Could he have kids already?
I prefer not, but one at max.
One at max? Boy, you prefer a man with no kids too?
Shaming yourself. Ain't nobody shaming.
Okay, so let me get this straight. He got to make $100K, provide for you and your 7-year-olds, and he should also not have kids.
Correct.
Shaming yourself.
Why would that be?
I just feel like the person that's for me is going to provide for me and my child, and it's going to be about us as a unit and not anything outside of that.
Well, yeah, that was the child's father's
I beg
job
your
to do
pardon?
that was the deal you're supposed to make with him. So now you're asking
Exactly. That's the deal you're supposed to make with the father. That's the deal you're supposed to make with the man you had the baby with. And black women, stop doing this, because I only see you guys doing it, saying, well, the man who's for me will do it. Stop. That's a very childish and dumb way of looking at dating. This is not no Wish Upon a Star. This ain't none of that shit you watch. This ain't Tyler Perry movie. This ain't a Tyler Perry movie. This ain't a song by Joe or Jaheim or none of that. Y'all are living y'all lives through memes and slogans, and it is hilarious, but it's also disturbing because you're leading our young women, right? And that's not good. You're living your life based off metaphors and stuff. You're like, it's very immature.
a man who never had a kid to make that deal with you, and you're saying if he had a kid, you wouldn't even do in return.
Preference wise, I wouldn't want nobody that had a child. I mean, if they got a child, okay. But preference wise, perfect, ideal, I wouldn't want nobody that had a child.
Can you explain to me why you don't want a man with a child?
I feel like that would come with too much drama.
So you wouldn't date yourself?
No.
Well, at least there you have it. At least she's aware. She doesn't want her. Opposite consider her really would not date herself. For real. So if there's a man that's willing to date her, even though she wouldn't date herself, she wants you to date her. Do you understand how that sounds, Jessica? Mm-hmm. How does that sound to you?
Shit. They can't own hip hop.
Like literally, let's have girl talk. Let's have girl talk. Help me understand how that makes sense to you. If you literally wouldn't make the deal you're asking another person to make, how does that make sense?
If you're asking ideally what I want, it's just what I want. And if I can't get what I want, then I'll just be by myself.
I understand that, but still help me.
That is not wise. And we got to address it because so many women say it because they think that it's a safe response. I'll just act like I don't want to win on some foot. Like I'll say, well, if I don't find a guy who fits these ridiculous dating standards, then I'll just be alone. So there you go. What do you got to say to that? It's like, wait, that's not a good response, actually. That just means you're okay with defeat. But it doesn't stop there. Once you had children, defeat means more for you. It means defeat for the other children who also need a man in their life. So every day you don't actively look for a stepfather for your kids. You're not doing something that needs to be done for your kids. See, some of you women have decided you don't need a man. Fine, you're still stupid for it, but fine. But what about your kids? What about the people in your family? What about your children? What about them needing a man? Because the stats say if they don't have a man in their life, they're at a statistical disadvantage and they're more likely to end up being incarcerated or they're going to end up Intellect says, I'm pretty, but her wig is malicious, pernicious, unscrumptious work. Her wig needs to be tried separately for treason and crimes against humanity. It is. It's making me itch. It's making me uncomfortable. For some reason, I'm not even in the same room with her, but I try not to look at it because it makes me itch. Levi says, fellas, continue to wrap it up and leave after you're done. You got to know which women you just can't, That's good. I'm glad that some of you women have had your dad in your life because you value men more a lot of the times when you have your father in your life because you understand all in all why having a father is important. So you want that for your own kids. Daniel Goddard just dropped the... He just joined the Dollar Crew. Much love. You wanted him once. He says your content, reactions provide insight. Thank you very much.
Answer this question directly. How does it make sense to ask a man to accept something that you would not accept yourself?
It's just what I want. I mean, I don't have no other answer for you.
No, you're a principal.
It's just what I want. I don't have no other answer for you. This is how a lot of you women are seeing the dating market. Y'all just don't want to say it out loud. You're saying, it's what I want. It don't got to make sense. And y'all wonder why people like me have a job. You're like, yeah, like, we're going to go out to the dating market, ladies, and hell, be delusional. Hell, you want that $1 million man? Say you want that $1 million man. They're not going to notice those 3 kids by those 3 guys. They like, don't even pay attention to them.
You are educated. You don't get to a principle about being educated. That's a simple, basic answer. I want you to use your thought process right now and really answer this. We're not going to glide over this because you're intelligent. You don't become a principal without being intelligent.
This is a principal of somebody's high school?
I really
My God, save the children.
That's what I want. How do you expect somebody to accept something that you would not accept?
Just because I am in the predicament that I am in right now, where I have a child, where the father has not done what they're supposed to do, allegedly, then that doesn't...
Wait a second. I want to start addressing you black women, and I'm talking about with a fine comb. Because I'm getting tired of hearing y'all drag men through the mud who never intended on being a father for you, because what that does is that creates this negative narrative that we like that black men, we be like, we go to sleep a father, then we wake up like, Oh, you know what I think I'm gonna do? I'm gonna leave these motherfucking kids behind. And then we go about our day. That's the narrative that's being put out against us. Not that you guys are picking a baby daddy with your eyes closed, which you are, but that we're just up and leaving y'all. Stop saying stuff like, y'all get with a guy who never showed y'all any indicators that he wanted to have a baby with you. And then after the baby comes and he's not in the baby's life, which is what he showed you while y'all were sleeping with each other, then you say he's not doing what he's supposed to do. Hold on. Who says he's supposed to take care of a child that you guys never had a conversation about him wanting? Yes, sex is a 50-50 type of situation. He's half responsible for the intercourse, but who has reproductive rights in the scenario? Who decides if the baby comes to term? I'd argue that person is more liable and viable for having to take care of the child than anybody in the scenario. They're the only ones who had rights. And a man can't flip that scenario and save his baby's life if this is some career-driven woman who wants to take the baby down to the abortion clinic and get rid of it. He can't say, no, ma'am, please don't kill my baby. I'll raise it with my mom. We'll never call you. You can just sign off all your rights. They go, nope, it's going to ruin my body and blah, 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 blah. And then they can just take your baby on down to the hitman office and whack him. Or her. Whatever. I just think we have to start opening up conversations about this. I think people are saying why people are mentioning O'Shea Duke Jackson in the comment section. I think people are mentioning O'Shea Duke Jackson because the last time Kendra G attacked our channel, he reacted to it and gave me a whole bunch of advice I didn't ask for, even though he never reached out to me like a man. It's funny, guys, I have a lot of opinions about you and things that they want to say, but they want to do it through videos, and then they want to try to slander you. And I'm like, man, I haven't, and the truth is I was a fan of O'Shea Duke Jackson, bought plenty of his merchandise, always was a supporter. I don't know what his issue was. You can't be up and coming too fast for O'Shea. I'm trying to figure out why he's mad at Shannon Sharpe other than the fact that he's successful. Don't think he'd care about Shannon Sharpe if Shannon Sharpe wasn't doing well.
Mean that I can't aspire to have the perfect fairy tale life. I'm still seeking it.
So you want to live in fairy tale? Okay, that's fine. So before I even get to the fairy tale, you don't think that it's unfair to require a man to take care of your child when if he had a kid, you wouldn't be willing to love on their child? I'm
not saying that I wouldn't be willing to love on their child.
But you said that you prefer a man with no kids.
Correct.
So you want to have more kids?
I do.
Okay, okay. Now back to fairy tale. So if this man never comes along, you're fine with just you and your child for the rest of your life?
I am.
Okay. Did I ask you your last relationship?
No, you didn't.
When was your last relationship, honey?
2 years ago.
You don't have to answer, but I'm going to ask. When's the last time you was intimate with someone?
2 years ago.
All right. So are you on a celibacy journey?
I am.
Until
shaming yourself. Ain't nobody shame.
I don't believe you. I believe you cracked somebody. I believe you just like old lady who we just reacted to.
Yes, I'm very serious about my meat. Yeah. What's wrong with that?
I don't believe you. I think you like to crack people. I think that you got little F buddies you meet up with and all that. You're just trying to do this to artificially increase your value right here at the end because you know that this hasn't gone well for you. You've made a fool of yourself. This has not gone over nearly as well as you thought it would. The moment that Kendra started to press you, that was probably the moment you realized you probably shouldn't even have said what you said. So now let's try to figure out a way to make ourselves valuable with little to work with. Let's say that we're celibate so that we can try to lock down stale Cracker Jacks and act like it's still an appealing snack. Shouts out to Patrice O'Neal.
When?
Until my husband.
Woo! Okay. Okay. Just what I thought. Just what I thought. Just okay. Okay, here we go. So we have to make 100K. That's our preference. If he makes less, don't even reach out. Prefers a man with no kids. And he will not have sex with you until your wedding night.
Correct.
I don't think I even did this in 2025. Here's the man, Jessica. Here is him. This is the only man
My dog
on
died.
the planet that is going to sign up for that deal. You got the first paper man of 2025.
I'll take it. I mean, ain't none of the like it.
You're going to have to take it. Give me the address because this is the closest you're going to get to the man you just told me about.
Oh, man.
Give me, I can email it. I'll scan it in the email. Invite me to the wedding.
I'll be waiting on the email.
I didn't know he used to live in Toronto.
Listen, I pray. I'm not saying, no, I am saying, if you meet a good man that's willing to love on your child, not a bum, I'm not talking about a bum, no bums.
Incredibly
but a man
petty.
that's willing to love on you and your child, and let's just say he don't make 100K, let's say he has a child himself, you should give that man a chance. Because I think you'll be waiting on this man to the end of time. I don't think the man you told me is end of time.
Until then, email me him right there.
You are really dumb.
Okay,
For
well,
real.
there's one more question.
Okay.
Why would a guy be lucky to be with you?
I am everything that a man wants, but they've just got to come correct.
Shame in your
You gotta tell us. What are the everything? I have nothing.
I cook, I clean, I am a natural nurturer. It's just a one-stop shop. You don't have to go nowhere else.
Okay. We got some paid questions. Do you want the paid questions? Oh wait, I skipped over some things. What are 3 flaws you have to work on?
Ooh, being too independent. What else? No, you put me on the spot with that one.
The paper brother.
You never thought about your 3 flaws?
No.
That's exactly what she did. Kareem said she walked into the casino with $1 expecting to hit the jackpot.
Shame in your oh, ain't nobody
She definitely did.
You're a principal?
Yes.
Like you're responsible for children?
Yes. I got too much other stuff to be worried about and to be worried about my flaws. I only take it one step at a time.
Why?
And right now we working on the one that I just said. So
okay. All right, so here's the paid questions. Here we go. I'm not gonna read them all, so stop sending money. Wait, someone said her baby just asked for something to drink and she didn't acknowledge her kid.
She got a Stanley sitting right next to her. She fine.
Oh, I'm sorry, you have a daughter. I said son earlier. Okay.
It's okay.
Delusion is an all-time high, and baby, you not fine enough to be this picky. Good night.
Good night.
Divine Photos, where has living in La La Land gotten you? No man with any common sense is taking this deal. Know the difference between abstinence and celibate. You are abstinent.
Because you have a child.
Delusional.
And he says you didn't want to respond to that, but that doesn't mean it isn't correct. Shouts out to Divine Photos.
Why?
Again, she's right. If you were a virgin, you'd be celibate.
AF. Have you ever dated the man of her dreams? Fairy tale. Have you ever dated the man you described?
I have.
What happened with him?
I wasn't ready.
So you met a man. Okay, he made 6 figures.
Mm-hmm.
He had no kids.
Correct.
He wanted to be with you and not have sex until marriage.
Correct.
When did you meet this man?
That was about 4 years ago.
You said you've been abstinent for 2 years.
Right.
So 4 years ago, you wasn't abstinent.
Right.
So why did you say yes when I said he would be willing to be for sex? That wasn't your reason.
That wasn't the same person. You my business.
Oh, ain't nobody shade.
The math ain't mathing.
No, your math's not mathing. You told me.
I know. I just said you in my business. Next question.
I'm in your business because we're trying to. Listen, the truth is easy.
Shame in yourself.
So you said that you met this man, and your 3 requirements was make at least 6 figures, no kids, and no sex until you get married. We said, have you ever met this man? You said yes. You said 4 years ago, but you only been celibate for 2 years. So that 3rd requirement wasn't even there 4 years ago, according to what you told us.
Correct, because the person that I was 4 years ago and the person that I was 2 years ago are not the same one.
That's not the damn point.
So therefore, the answer is you never met a man that was willing to do all 3. If you're going back to that man,
I never had sex. I never had sex with that man.
How long did you date that man?
For about a year and a half.
Right, and y'all didn't do anything. Of course. Why are you lying?
Shame in yourself. Oh, ain't nobody shade.
Intellect says she's excessively rotund, multi-child, attractive at first, with a Wookiee wig, and has a gal gumption and the audacity to be celibate on top of all of that.
Shame in yourself. Oh, ain't nobody shade.
Yeah. I don't know, man. It's just, I'm just on the road trying to figure it out. It's like, damn. Like, it's really like shocking. But then again, it isn't. It's crazy. When you've been doing this for so long and you just been seeing delusion stack up on top of delusion, you stop even being shocked.
So you dated a man for a year and a half and never had sex with him?
Correct.
Why did you date him for a year? So... Okay,
Shame
you
in
didn't have sex because you didn't like
nobody
him.
shade.
I wouldn't say it wasn't because I didn't like him. I was just trying to see what else was there besides the physical connection.
Okay, but here's the deal. 4 years ago, you didn't have sex with him, but you had sex with somebody else because you said your celibacy just began 2 years ago. So as you was dating him, you were sleeping with somebody else?
Correct, because it's called dating. We weren't in a relationship.
Yeah, because you didn't like him. This is what it comes down to. So the man that he was, I don't know what he lacked, but he made 6 figures, right? You're telling you.
Right.
I'm going for what you told me. And
I thought you were going down the list. Okay.
No, he made 6 figures. You're saying yes, and he had no kids.
Correct.
And while he was dating you for a year and a half, you were sleeping with another person.
Yes.
So the person you were sleeping with, did he not make 6 figures?
That's irrelevant.
It is. No, it's not. Because the point of the matter is we're about to prove that you will have sex with a man that doesn't make 6 figures. You will have a baby by a man who doesn't make 6 figures. But now you got these other requirements of a man that you've never met. So that guy must have didn't make 6 figures that you were sleeping with while the 6-figure guy.
I think she's got a point.
But it's called dating. You can't talk to most
people.
It's
called dating, but I want you to understand. The first of the question is this. You lied. You never met a man that had all those 3 that wanted to be with you. So that's a lie.
Right.
How is that a lie?
Because you haven't described. You just said
because you lied.
This man you was dating. He, of course, he had 6 figures, whatever. But you didn't like that guy because you were sleeping with somebody else. So if this guy had all these things that you had, you didn't like him, so you didn't want to have sex with him. So you went to have sex with a guy who did not make 6 figures.
Okay.
Or tell me if I'm wrong. Did the guy you were sleeping with?
You are wrong. I feel like two things.
So the guy that you were sleeping with,
ain't nobody shade.
made 6 figures.
2 things can be true at the same time.
Just help me. I mean, you know, the guy that you was sleeping with while you was dating the guy you said that had all this stuff, did he make 6 figures?
Yes.
Why couldn't you be with him?
I didn't want to be with him. You can date and more than one thing can be done.
How come in the first time you said it was irrelevant? Why'd you say it was irrelevant?
Because you said asking me the same question.
No, I wasn't. I was asking about the guy that was able to have sex with you while the other guy who dated you for a year and a half couldn't.
Personal preference.
Shame in yourself. Ain't nobody shame.
What's the address?
Send it over, Kendra.
What is the address?
My dog died long.
Listen, if you got a lot of paid questions. I can't get to all these paid questions, people, but.
Man, I'll collect all that bread. Anywho, Jamal Neezy says, Thon, I love the show. Keep working and growing. I'm getting sick and tired of our sisters wearing other types of people hair on their heads looking bad. Yeah. Sometimes that does look bad. Some women get good ones, but they still should stop. But again, these women are gonna do what they want to do, man. We just gotta try to have the conversation. Says, I want to see her crusty elbows. Why?
Sia Major said, childish, delusional, selfish. You don't get better than your child's father.
Absolutely not.
He paid $10 to send that? That's crazy.
You really needed to know. So maybe that's why.
If one of your students struck a teacher and you asked the student why he did it, would you accept I don't know for an answer?
If one of your students.
You can read that question. There's no way you're a principal and you have this level of difficulty reading. Oh my goodness. You women, you're always teasing us men about the things that you do. When y'all get caught up, y'all act just as silly. Y'all act like you're blind all of a sudden. Huh? You act like you can't hear. Huh? You heard me. Who was that on your phone? If you can, you can hear. Like, you heard what I said. Huh? Don't get slapped. This is just, for all the white people who might be watching, this is how we handle infidelity. We get through it sometimes, but it'll start off a couple threats, ad hominems. We might even talk about each other's mother. Who knows? But we'll find our way back. Much love to Uncle Gee. He says, finally caught alive. Peace. Much love, Uncle G. Or Gee, whichever one it is. I appreciate you. Thank you very much. Now all of a sudden she can't read. This is somebody who's responsible for a community of children in the school. Now all of a sudden she can barely read a 3-inch super chat. It is because she's trying to think about how to respond to it. She already registered the information. She's just acting like she's reading it so she can have enough time to think of a good response to try to shine herself in the best light. It didn't take you that long to read that little line.
I think it's a riddle. If one of your students struck a teacher and you ask the student why he did it, would you accept I don't know for an answer?
It depends. Does the child have needs?
It depends. Like,
Shaming yourself. Ain't nobody shaming.
Somebody save the children.
I don't know. Mr. Patrick said, this mindset is insane to me. They should call her just hilarious because I'm cracking up at the delusion.
She really said it depends, everybody. She literally said that. She said that it depends.
I think, let me see.
He said maybe I'm okay. Like if the kid is like has a disability, if they have special needs, okay. You immediately, instead of just owning up to it.
We did the why would a guy be lucky to be with you? Are you on the dating app, Jess?
I am not. My friend actually put me up to come onto your show. I didn't know you had an app.
Well, you should cut your friend out after. Why? She set you up. And she set you up. And she set you up. But Jess, you're gonna be a highlight. So I mean, it's pretty much everything I said they're gonna say, but it's already good. All right, download the dating app if you want. So let's repeat. Over 6 figures. No kids is preference. I think she'll negotiate that, but the preference is no kids. And no sex until she gets married.
Correct.
Okay.
Add my friend. She's in the waiting room, the one that set me up.
What's her friend in the waiting room? I'm gonna go get her right now. What's her name?
Tree.
Trees?
Yes.
Okay, I'm gonna get Trees. Okay. But I don't see her in the waiting room. I don't see Trees. Let me get Kyra first, because I think I told Kyra I was gonna get her next. I got a lot of people in the waiting room tonight, but Trees. Actually, she's up next. Trees? Okay, she's right there. I'll get her right now. Okay.
All right, bye.
Bye, baby.
Shaming yourself. Ain't nobody
dog die alone.
Unbelievable. But again, I'm not surprised. We see a lot of single mothers. We see a lot of women who are leading single mother-led households, and they almost don't even care if they lose. They're like, well, if there ain't no guy out there who wants to pick these ridiculous dating standards that I have, like, I guess I'll just have to be by myself. When people say, why do black women marry at the lowest rate? Why do black women only marry at a 1 in 4 rate? I'll say it's because they bring a willingness to lose in dating that we haven't seen from any. They're the most okay. They've settled into like, I'll probably end up by myself. They settle into it way quicker than other women. Some would say, where did they learn this? I'll tell you where they learned it. They learned it from their mothers. Or if not specifically their mothers, just black women in the community who couldn't figure it out. And then the things that those women say in frustration. So they tell younger black women, well, focus on a man. Like, don't focus on a man, focus on a career. And then deal with a man after you got yourself together, because if black men don't come through, because you know that's not what they're gonna do for you, that if they don't come through, you just focus, that degree will be all you need. And they knew that they were lying to you when they told you. That's why I think black women are personally invested, even if it's subconscious. They might not have come to terms with this, but I think subconsciously, black women are very invested in ensuring that younger black women don't succeed because they haven't figured it out. It's like when Craig moved in with Day Day out in Beverly Hills, and then that fine little piece of thing, and since Day Day has spent all his life trying to like get with old girl and it never happened, when he saw it start to work out for Craig quick, he was like, oh no, I don't want you to get it. I hope you don't get it. Last thing I want to do is see you get something that I've been spending my whole life trying to figure out how I can obtain. I ain't hating on you, but I am hating on you. I don't want it to happen. That might be a stupid, goofy, humorous analogy, but it very well encapsulates the way black women view black men and just the relationship and this fatherhood and family and the way that they start them. There was that lady who we reacted to earlier. She said that her father of her child wasn't doing what he was supposed to do. And I said, well, hold on. It didn't sound like you really vetted that man properly to see if he was a father. So you don't even know what he was supposed to do. Because if you don't show a man any signs that you want that, like, or if a man doesn't show you any signs that he wants to be a father and you take his baby to term, we want to start to really start asking yourselves, are these deadbeat fathers? Or are these men who you had intercourse with and now you're bringing their baby to term, which is very risky. And then you end up along with the baby and then say that guy isn't doing what he's supposed to do. And it's like, no, he did exactly what he was supposed to do. He was supposed to walk away because you guys were never supposed to start a family. You didn't even have a conversation. You think he's supposed to stay there? Most guys won't. Then you guys think, oh, he's not a man if he doesn't step up to an illegitimate situation. Ready to father, whatever this is coming out of this woman. Like, that's why you women need to make better choices. Not all men are just going to hop into, oh yeah, I'm ready to be a daddy just because I cracked you. No, not all guys are thinking like that. You'll find yourself alone with a kid. Then you think some guy's going to come in who doesn't have any kids and be okay with the fact that, like, you already have kids by another guy. And he's worked hard to not have any and to stay clean and to do everything the right way. And now you think you deserve him because you don't want to deal with anything extra, even though you are made of extra. You're dripping with baggage when it comes to your kids and everything. You're dripping with baggage. Now moving on to finalize it off. Now moving on to Kendra G. I'm going to let you guys know it's going to be the last time we ever address Kendra G. We're going to let her howl at the moon from here on out. No longer swatting Kendra G. There's a reason why Kendra wants to antagonize us. It's because our content is reaching people. That's why. That's the only reason why Kendra G has an issue with the platform. Don't be bothered by it. This is our last time addressing Kendra head on like this, okay? It's just not productive for the channel. I don't want this to be a beef channel, but again, certain things just have to be addressed, especially when certain claims are being made. Anytime people start like bringing kids into it and start talking about what you think people's kids are going to be, you start getting inappropriate. You start slandering the you start slandering the LGBTQ plus community, and they had nothing to do with it. Kendra, I think you have far too much responsibility, far too much influence and reach as a person to be that irresponsible with your words. And the people who have business constituency with you, I wonder what they would think of those words that you had to say. Because again, I'm going to remind you, when you tell a straight man that even a gay person would be manly enough to do a certain thing, that is a very strong implication that you believe that gay men are lacking because they happen to be born homosexual. They are less of they're less of men than men who are born of heterosexual gender. And you don't believe that, do you, Kendra? That wouldn't be what you were saying, was it? Because that's what it sounded like. Be careful. Your brand, all those brand people and all that you work with are watching. Anybody who might potentially want to deal with you in the next 10 years is watching. Even if they truly are homophobic themselves, they won't be able to be connected to you if you're that way in public. I think you should watch your words carefully around that community. I think you should try to deal with your issues with black men head on. Why bring in an oppressed group who's had to suffer a ton in their own community on top of the suffering that they have to deal with white supremacy? They have to deal with the infighting of the abuse of the straight people within their community just to be shamelessly brought into beefs between a heterosexual woman and a heterosexual black man. But it's funny. It's only when a black woman is choosing to call a straight man weak that she brings a gay man's name up. That's what we must focus on, gay people and my lesbian brothers and sisters, my trans brothers and sisters out there who might be turning in. Kendra doesn't support you. She thinks that you're weak because you just so happen to be born a certain way. The same thing that hurt your feelings when you found out that your dad or your uncle or some family member felt that, and they feel that way about you and you had no control on how you came into this world. And yet people have all these evil things that they have to say about you in the way that you live your life, and they don't even know who you are. And as a black kid growing up, as a non-religious black kid, an objective thinking scientific kid, I know what it's like to be put out of your community simply for daring to think, to be objective, to be critical, to question things, to have your black card dangled in front of you as if it's like you win a prize for losing validation within a losing group. A group projected to have zero wealth in 50 years if we don't change. Again, I feel bad for you, Kendra. I feel bad for the gay people who will continue to support you because gay people are so wounded and they're so hurting from what they've had to experience from the time that they realize that the world isn't going to accept them, that they're going to still come to your channel. They're still going to go, well, that's my bitch. Shut up. Don't try to defend me. I like being treated poorly. That's my woman. I support black women. That's how wrong this is, that they're going to look at me and say, don't try to defend me, black man. I stand with black women. That's how blindly loyal to you that they are, because they need to feel close to you. And I need all of my homosexual brothers out there, especially my feminine gay men. Anytime you've ever found yourself in an argument with a black woman and you thought that was your bitch, and then when y'all got into it, when she started calling you the F word and she starts coming at your sexuality and your manhood, I want to let you know something. That's what she always thought about you. I hope you guys enjoyed the show. It's ThonLexy. Continue to support the work that we do here. I appreciate everybody. All the work that we do here is supported by the Fair Use Copyright Act. We do not illegally react to anything here. I appreciate everybody who supports. Shouts out to everybody who's been contributing. Much love to our show sponsor, Benjamin Bussard, and everybody else who's been supporting down there in the Cash App, and everybody, our Dollar Crew, RM, everybody who's been down there rocking with us today. It was a great show. I'll see you guys on the next one. Be good. Thanks for sponsoring the show. I'll find some more work for you guys tomorrow. Be good.